What if everything we thought we knew about China's AI rise was backward? Because for years, the narrative has been simple. Cheap labor, abundant data, and centralized control have positioned China to dominate the AI race. But now there's growing concern that China may be falling behind and fast. From massive chip shortages to rising censorship and unexpected obstacles in global AI scaling, China's AI progress has hit turbulence. And here's what's more ironic. It's not always the hardware holding them back. In fact, what's buried deepest beneath the surface isn't a technological deficit, it's systemic. Do you think China can catch up to the US in AI? Yes or no? Drop your thoughts. I read every single comment. Today on Endgame Compass, we're unpacking 3 of the most underreported challenges facing China's AI development. Along the way, we're going to confront some of the biggest assumptions about US-China tech dynamics and ask, is the race toward AGI, artificial general intelligence, a winner-takes-all battle? Or is there something more persistent at stake? Because what's hidden at the end of this story could reshape your view of AI innovation forever. Let's dive in. Every summer, I attend gatherings, seminars, meetups, discussions. Some I host, others I just attend. And it's at one of these events that we got into a heated conversation about one very real truth. China is hitting a wall when it comes to AI, not because of ideas, but because of the hardware that powers them. Let's start with the facts. The United States, together with allies in Europe, Japan, South Korea, and Taiwan, almost fully controls the advanced AI chip supply chain. The US leads in chip design. Think NVIDIA, the crown jewel of AI hardware, now worth over $1 trillion with its CUDA software becoming an industry standard. But it doesn't stop there. Manufacturing is dominated by its allies, ASML in the Netherlands, Tokyo Electron and Lam Research in Japan, and Applied Materials in the US, even upstream inputs. Essential chemicals and rare IP like those embedded in Cadence and Synopsys are in Western-friendly ecosystems. It's not just a manufacturing monopoly. It's a strategic fortress. Meanwhile, China is struggling to keep up. Huawei might have a few promising alternatives, but in benchmark after benchmark, nothing matches NVIDIA's performance, and the most critical part, it's not just how strong each chip is, it's how many you can produce. China simply doesn't have the capacity. And this bottleneck isn't easing anytime soon. That doesn't mean China is helpless. China still retains significant leverage, especially in energy infrastructure and materials essential to the AI economy. Power supply is one of China's biggest hidden weapons in this race. While the US struggles to build new nuclear or coal plants and gets bogged down in permitting delays, China is already running high-capacity hydro, expanding solar and wind, and backing it all with strong grid-scale storage initiatives. They're not just building servers, they're building the electricity to make AI scale. Plus, China owns the lion's share of the world's rare earth materials, especially neodymium, used to produce high-efficiency magnets critical for everything from electric vehicles to robotics. Any motorized innovation, from your EV to your next-gen drone, needs magnets, and magnets need rare earths. That's a long-term industrial edge that's hard to ignore. But here's where things turn complicated. At that same event, one of the most provocative discussions was about the future of human-AI interaction. Think AR glasses, a device that could transform education, healthcare, even how we see reality. Leading voices, including those in China, argue that AR glasses could eventually surpass smartphones. Maybe. But here's the catch. Will we really want to wear devices that track and record everything 24/7? Would you be comfortable with an always-on lens watching you eat, drive, talk, and sleep? The underlying question isn't technical. It's social, psychological. Even if those devices could collect richer data to power better AI, what cost are we willing to accept in terms of privacy, distraction, and trust? Because this goes beyond convenience. When AI can deepfake voices, faces, identities, and when virtual overlays become indistinguishable from reality, how do you even know who or what you're interacting with? At the extreme end, we risk blending the digital and the physical so deeply, we lose the ability to tell them apart. And in that world, the side that controls the narrative, not just the server farms, holds the real advantage. If you're still with us, you're clearly not here for surface-level headlines. This is Endgame Compass, where we go beyond clickbait. So, make sure to hit subscribe and turn on notifications. What we cover here could shape how you understand AI, geopolitics, and your financial future. Let's bring it back to policy. In theory, U.S.-China trade should be mutually beneficial. AI chips for rare earths, software for energy infrastructure. But that's not the game being played. With intensifying geopolitics, the U.S. has imposed strict export controls on AI-related chips and hardware. NVIDIA-ASH20 chip, tailored specifically for inference AI, not general AI training, was supposed to be a workaround. CEO Jensen Huang even hinted at loosening restrictions. But it's been messy. Hawks like Steve Bannon and former deputy national security officials have launched campaigns to stop any AI chip exports, even the less powerful ones, their argument. Even the H20 can help advance Chinese inference models like DeepSeek. They're not wrong, because despite being less powerful in raw specs, the H20 contains high bandwidth memory ideal for inference optimization. So now the U.S. Commerce Department is hesitating, adding new layers of uncertainty. And what happens next might surprise you. Consider this. Cutting China off may actually push it to become independent even faster. There's a school of thought in Washington, even inside the tech elite, that says it's better to sell China GPUs with embedded standards like CUDA and NVLink than to push them to build homegrown alternatives over which the U.S. has no influence. Because once they build their own stack, hardware OS, APIs, all independent, the U.S. loses not just leverage, but access to a trillion-dollar market. It's a risky strategy. Empower your rival to stay dependent or starve them and risk them surpassing you. There are no easy answers. Now here's what no one wants to say out loud, but it matters deeply. The biggest hidden risk to China's AI potential: censorship. Advanced models like DeepSeek have shown impressive breakthroughs. Some even reportedly achieved ChatGPT-like performance using a fraction of the resources. But they're not going global. Why? Because even basic discussions about economic systems, say comparing markets to state planning, get wiped or redirected by the model itself. The problem isn't just about what's forbidden, it's that the very mention of the forbidden becomes forbidden. This limits user trust and stifles global adoption. If China doesn't address this content-level constraint, its choice is to either remain insular or pull a TikTok. Bifurcate its models with looser rules for the international market. The question is whether that split is sustainable. What do you think? Can China's AI models ever achieve mass global adoption under this censorship framework? Or is that the red line holding them back forever? Drop your take below. Earlier this year, DeepSeek stunned observers by producing high-quality models with much lower compute. It sparked headlines that maybe, just maybe, China had cracked a smarter path forward, leveraging distillation learning and mixture of experts to maximize small-scale efficiency. Impressive innovations, no doubt. But fast forward 6 months, and the hype has cooled. Global usage hasn't materialized. User counts largely domestic. And again, we circle back to the 3 bottlenecks. Hardware, still constrained. Open source momentum is fading fast in a world turning closed. Censorship as entrenched as ever. That's not just a policy problem, it's a product problem. All of this leads to an important question. If AI is accelerating this fast, what edge do we, humans, still possess? Some say creativity, others point to empathy, emotional intelligence, the ability to care for children, elderly patients, the nuance of trust in relationships. And as of today, those hold true. Even basic home robotics still struggle. Autonomous vehicles are still imperfect. No machine can yet perform caregiving the way humans can. But for how long? Because AI already composes symphonies, writes theater, mimics voices and emotions. When paired with hardware autonomy, it begins replacing not just jobs, but judgment. Maybe the real advantage is legal, not cognitive. Humans own property. We have rights under law, no AI. For now, can own assets, sign contracts, or run a public company. But even that might change. Grok, one of the more sophisticated AI models, estimates there's a 5 to 10% chance of A is gaining legal agency within the next 2 decades. That climbs to 30 to 40% over the next 50 years. So what then? Here at Endgame Compass, we don't believe in fear. We believe in positioning. So here's where we stand. Don't try to outcompete AI directly. Instead, own the businesses, hardware, and systems that deploy it. Don't fight the machines. Finance them, build them, govern them. Because when ethical, legal, and capital frameworks determine how AI operates, humans still hold the keys. As long as those frameworks remain, if this gave you a new perspective, don't just like the video. Subscribe to Endgame Compass and hit the bell. Timing matters, especially in global tech and capital. And remember, the AI race won't be decided in headlines. It'll be decided in policy, platforms, and power structures. Until next time, stay focused. We'll help you navigate everything that's coming.